Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Georgia, I hope you're well. Today we are going to talk about my April TBR. We are officially at the end of March. This year is going by so quickly. But yeah, I've got some really exciting books this month, and honestly it's just going to be a month of like new releases because there's so many books coming out in April that I am so excited for. Let's just have a chit chat. What have you got planned to read this month? I am currently in the middle of like the second book in a series, so if you want to know about that series I'll mention it more in my March wrap up, which will be coming out next week. Yeah, I'm currently in the middle of a book, but then I'm planning on going in straight into these ones because this month there is a book coming out every Tuesday of the month that I'm like looking forward to reading. So this month is just going to be so good. I've got high hopes. I've got some 5-star anticipations. Like, I am so looking forward for this and think this is just going to be such an amazing reading month. So honestly, let's jump straight into it. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And as always, my social media, my Amazon wishlist, my Goodreads and everything like that will be in the description bar below. Let's get into today's video. So all the books that I plan on reading this month, I don't have the physical copies of. So I will be referring to my phone a lot during this video because I need to know what they're about. Because I like to go into books quite blind, so I'm literally going to read probably like the synopsis for each book and nothing else. But obviously I don't have the physical copies because a lot of them aren't out yet, so I will be reading them on my phone. The first book that I'm really excited for is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. Now that came out on the 1st of April, so at the time of watching this it is already out, but I am honestly so excited to read this book. So I am new to the whole Abby Jimenez hype. I have read the Part of Your World series, so I've read Part of Your World, Yours Truly and Just for the Summer, and I absolutely loved all three of those books. I can't remember exactly what I rated them, but they were all like 4 stars and above, so I did really enjoy those. So I'm really looking forward to seeing some more of her writing, but I don't know if this one is sort of like a standalone or if it's part of that series, because I've heard some people say that it is, but when you look on Goodreads and stuff it doesn't put it with that series, so I really don't know how that sort of like connects with the rest of her reading or the rest of her stories and her books. But let's have a quick look at the synopsis. Abby Jimenez. Really should have googled this before I started, but here we are. I've also just realised I've still got makeup on the back of my hands, so let's get rid of that. I say this a lot, but I am dyslexic, so reading out loud makes me severely uncomfortable, so bear with me as I attempt to read this for you. There's no such thing as a perfect guy, but Xavier Rush comes disastrously close. A gorgeous veterinarian giving Greek god vibes, all while cuddling a teeny kitten? Immediately yes. That is until Xavier opens his mouth and proves that even sculpted gods can say the absolute wrong thing, like really wrong. Of course, there's nothing Samantha loves more than proving an asshole wrong, unless, of course, he can admit he made a mistake. But after one incredible and seemingly endless date, possibly the best in living history, Samantha is forced to admit the truth that her family is in crisis and any kind of relationship would be impossible. Samantha begs Xavier to forget her, to remember their night together as a perfect moment, as crushing as that may be. Only no amount of distance or time is nearly enough to forget that there's something between them. And the only thing better than one single perfect moment is to make a life and even a love worth remembering. Okay, so this does sound like Abby Jimenez's like usual sort of setup. So two people who just shouldn't be together, who's just going to be a disaster from the get-go, or who have too much going on in their lives, coming together in this perfect moment with that little bit of spice, with that little bit of trauma, and I can't wait. I honestly can't wait. I'm so excited. I honestly love her writing style so much. I just think it's so easy. You get so lost in it. I don't know what it is, but I don't think it's ever taken me more than like 3 days to finish an Abby Jimenez book. I just get so sucked in. I only read 4 or 5 books a month generally, and like her books I just seem to fly through so quickly. I just love them so much. So that is the first book that I'm hoping to read in April. Now the next book that I am looking forward to reading in April is honestly my most anticipated release of the year, and that is Fearless by Lauren Roberts. Now I am so unbelievably excited to read this book. Like, I have just been dying to read this. If you watched my sort of like 2025 video, then you'll know how excited I am about this book. Like, it's just, I've been waiting since the second I closed Reckless to get this book in my hands. Like, I need to know what happens. I need to know. I am so stressed about it. It is just ridiculous. The ending of Reckless was just so mind-blowing, and I just need to know how this is all wrapped up. It is a trilogy, so this is the last book in the series. I'm so intrigued to see how she wraps this story up, because it's driving me insane not knowing what's going to happen. I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't read Powerless or Reckless, but honestly, Oh, you need to read this series if you haven't. The guy from Powerful, is it Makoto? I really hope he makes a comeback in this book, because if not, his story was just so tragic. Like, I really hope he comes back in this book, because I liked him as a character, and I really want him to have some more input into this storyline in general. It's such an easy introduction to fantasy. There's like these trials and everybody has these powers, but like they're explained at the beginning of the book, and it's just so easy to get your head around, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. If you're not like very familiar with fantasy, this is a really good place to start. So Reckless will be coming out on the 8th of April, and it's so soon, and I am so excited. I honestly cannot wait. Hello, how you going? Showing everyone your tail. Perfect. Hello. Ow. If you could get your claws out of my kneecap. Thank you, my love. I don't know if you can see her, but this is Freyja. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen her plenty of times now, but this is my partner's cat. I have now adopted her as my own. She's a cutie. She's a bane, but she's a cutie. So the third book that I'm really looking forward to reading this month is Wild and Wrangled, which is book 4 in the Rebel Blue Ranch series by Lila Sage. Now, ow, get your claws out of my knee. Yeah, this is about Camille and Dusty, and honestly this one's sort of been hinted at throughout the entire series. Like, Dusty has always been obsessed with Camille and always longed to be with her. So this is sort of like the relationship that everybody's been waiting for throughout this entire series. Like, Dusty is such a sweetheart, and Camille has sort of she's just been through it. If I'm correct in thinking, she is Gus's ex-partner. She's the mother to Gus's child. Gus and Camille had like sort of like an accidental pregnancy, one night stand type thing, but had a child together. Never been sort of like romantically involved. It was just sort of a one night stand, and then they've always been really platonic since. They've agreed to have the child, co-parent. So she's sort of always been around with them co-parenting and stuff. So Dusty has always wanted to be with Camille, and is literally obsessed with her and always has been. And this is finally their story. So I'll just read you the back again. So Rebel Blue Ranch is sort of like an interconnected standalone. It's cowboy romance, small town. I honestly love this series so much. Can you stop causing trouble? I don't know if you can see, but she's found a little toy to play with. So we now have a crazy cat, so let's just ignore that. Let's just ignore how well she plays. It's a small town country romance, and honestly these are sort of like my favourite series to read. It's like the Elsie Silver ones. This one I'm honestly obsessed. Freyja, honey, can we calm down? She's in hunting mode. It's just a really easy sort of like cheesy, spicy romance, and I love this series so much. Yeah, I'll just read you the back of this one. She's the one that got away, and he's the one that never let go. Camille Ashwood has always loved a plan. Her latest was her best yet. She was going to get married so she could secure her daughter's future, get her overbearing parents off her back, and finally... my god. She was going to get married so she could secure her daughter's future, get her overbearing parents off her back, and finally start building her own life in the small town of Meadowlark, Wyoming. But when her groom doesn't show up to the wedding, Cam's life is turned upside down. She doesn't even have a place to live. That is until she finds out the house she's loved since high school is available to rent. The only problem is the neighbour. Dusty Tucker has spent nearly all of his adult life running from what though? More like who? Cam Ashwood. But ever since he returned home last year, the girl who was his first, well, everything, has become a woman seemingly determined to keep him at arm's length, and he was okay with that. At least that's what he kept telling himself. She was getting married after all. But now that she was single and living next door, Dusty wanted to show her that they could be friends and that he can stay put. Despite her best attempts to stay far away from Dusty, Cam realises that being close to him is like slipping on her favourite jeans, easy, comfortable. That is until past wounds start to open and feelings both old and new wreak havoc. Nearly 10 years after they first met, Dusty and Cam begin to wonder if their first love can also be their last, and this time will it be forever? So imagine it's like a second chance romance. It's always been you. It's just this is going to be such a cute story, and obviously it's the last one of the series. I hope that this is really just going to wrap it all up so nicely. She's just on one. You are well and truly on one, aren't you, kid? But yeah, so I really hope that this just sort of rounds up this series really nicely and just sort of wraps up everybody's little stories, and honestly I am so excited. I have loved this world so much, and I am just honestly so excited to get my hands on this one. It just looks like such a fun read, and with it being the last in the series it is breaking my heart a little bit, but I just really hope that this sort of rounds the series off nicely, because it deserves it. I really enjoyed this series. I love a country romance. I get so lost in them, and I want to be there. I want to be on a little ranch with some horses and some animals, and I'd love it. I'd love it so much. So Wild and Wrangle comes out on the 15th of April, which is actually James's birthday, so it's gonna take everything in me not to be like, do you want to just like go play your games on your birthday so I can read my books? Like, but yeah, I'm gonna be a good girl. I might go and pick it up since we're gonna be out and about anyway, but I won't read it. I'll be good. So the fourth book that I want to talk about is Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. Now, I haven't read anything by this author yet. I have 2 of her books on my shelves, or currently in boxes. I don't know why I keep putting it off. I've been told that if I like Abby Jimenez, I will really like Emily Henry as well. They have very similar writing styles, but I haven't got around to doing it yet. I don't know if I was just in my little Abby Jimenez world and then I thought I would try the Emily Henry ones after. I don't really know. I don't know, but I just keep putting it off. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading her new one. I'm hoping that this will sort of spark me to go back and read the rest of her books as well. I have a crazy cat. She has been played with, she has been fed, she has been watered. I don't know what her issue is right now, but she's just trashing the place. There we go. She just stays loafed there. That's fine. She can glare at me from there. That is not a problem. So this book just sounds like such a fun time. I was having a quick look at it again earlier. So this one comes out on the 22nd of April. So this is the 4th week in April. So like I say, so far every book has been coming out on the Tuesday of the month. So we've had the 1st, the 8th, the 15th, and now the 22nd. Which tickles my brain. It's a good thing. I don't know what it is about Tuesdays in April that just all the books seem to be coming out this month. I'll just read you the synopsis. 2 writers compete for a chance to tell the larger-than-life story of a woman with more than a couple of plot twists up her sleeve. Alice Scott is an eternal optimist who's dreaming of her big writing break. Hayden Anderson is a Pulitzer Prize-winning human thundercloud, and they are both on Little Crescent Island for the same reason, to write the biography of a woman no one has seen in years, or at least to meet with the person who claims to be Margaret Ives? Tragic heiress, former tabloid princess, and daughter to one of the most storied and scandalous families of the 20th century. When Margaret invites them both on a 1-month trial period, after which she'll choose the person to tell her story, there are 3 things keeping Alice's head in the game. 1. Alice genuinely likes people, which means people usually like Alice, and she has the whole month to win the legendary woman over. 2. She's ready for this job and the chance to impress her unimpressible family with a serious publication. 3. Hayden Anderson, who should have no reason to be concerned about losing this book, is glowering at her in a shaken to the core way that suggests she sees her as competition. But the problem is, Margaret is only giving each of them pieces of her story. Pieces that they can't swap to put together because of their ironclad NDA, and an inconvenient yearning pulsing between them every time they're in the same room. And it's becoming abundantly clear that their story, just like the tale Margaret's spinning, could be a mystery, tragedy, and love ballad depending on who's telling it. Okay, that was a very difficult blurb to read, and I'm going to hate all of that. But that sounds really fun. So it sounds like we've got this sort of competition, workplace, rivalry. So they're both going for the same job, sort of competing for this life-changing opportunity. So like by the sounds of it, Alice has never really had a proper breakthrough with her work yet, whereas Hayden's sort of already sort of big out their name. So this is sort of her opportunity, and yeah, they've been sort of like put together to fight for this opportunity. This sounds like it could be really fun. There's obviously some tension between them. There's this mystery in there as well. This sounds like a really fun book. I mean, I do think I prefer the Sound of Funny story from Emily Henry, but I've also been told that that's also like one of her best, so I don't want to start with that and then the rest seem disappointing, if that makes any sense. But that's my logic with it anyway. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one as well. So I'm really hoping that April is going to be a good reading month. I'm only going to put 4 books on this video just because I only ever read 4 or 5 books, and I'm currently halfway through a book anyway. So yeah, I am definitely looking forward to this month's reading. I do think I'm going to have a good reading month, and I am hoping that at least one of those books is going to be a 5-star this month, because I've had a really good reading year so far. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how April goes, but I have very high hopes. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And as always, my social media, Amazon, Goodreads and everything will be in the description bar below. Let me know what you're reading this month. I have a lot of conversations over on my Instagram with people about like their TBRs and like what they're going to be reading this month, because I just find it so interesting, and I like to know if we're reading similar books and if we're on the same wavelength, and if we are, once we've read them, if we're enjoying them. So definitely go over to my Instagram and give me a follow, and we can have those conversations there too. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you're well. Take care.